A fresh coat of paint is a sign of a better tomorrow, but it cannot disguise what happened here yesterday. In Adel, Georgia, yesterday is gone, but its damage lingers in plain sight. On a Sunday morning in January, an EF3 tornado tore into the mobile home park. Blowing at 140 miles an hour, it destroyed 50 homes and left 7 people dead.
I saw where my grandson's room used to be. I saw where my second bathroom used to be.
Yvonne Woods saw her home in ruins.
I couldn't hold back the tears. I just went to crying. We was a community. Now look like we don't got nothing out here anymore.
Lost in the rubble, her guardian angel.
And when they went to digging through the rubble and stuff, they told me she was still standing up, didn't get knocked down. And I told them, I said, because that's what a guardian angel do. She stand up.
6 months later, Nathaniel Byron is replacing one of these destroyed homes, but he can't shake his memory of that first day. He helped recover the body of a young girl lost to those killer winds.
Still in a blanket and everything. It's sad. You could hear people calling out for you to help them, and you know it ain't nothing you can do.
What he can do now is tie down these replacement homes as tight as he can.
Debris, big debris.
To be clear, 140-mile-an-hour winds can and usually do destroy any building.
Oh, no.
But much lower winds can destroy, even kill, if a mobile home is not properly installed and inspected. There's a lot to look at here. Searching inside these manila folders, I found state inspectors discovered mobile home installers failed to install critical tie-down and supports in a majority of the reports I read. Over half had safety problems. Does that sound familiar?
It does sound familiar.
I took these results to Chris Stevens. He's overseen Georgia's mobile home inspections for more than 2 decades. He knows these problems exist. His bottom line?
If it's not installed and constructed correctly, you're going to have failures.
Where do you think we can make Georgians safer?
I believe it would take 100% inspections.
But dozens of the counties in Georgia don't even have building inspectors, which leaves the lives of many Georgians,
and I now don't take things for granted,
to chance.
What we're doing here today is what they call a permit inspection.
Meet Brad Davis, for 2 decades a state inspector of mobile homes.
This is going to get a little noisy.
Checks everything from dryer vents to the house siding. Most critical, though, are safety issues mobile home owners seldom notice.
I'm going to try another spot.
Even the density of the soil affects safety.
It'll give me the idea of how big the footer for the house is supposed to be.
If the footers are not big enough, the house can slide off in a high wind.
And now it's time to crawl under a house.
It is exhausting, sometimes claustrophobic work. He checks for tie-downs, the parts that hold the structure together and tie it to the ground. This inspection passes Brad Davis's tests, but most random inspections do not, like Farmer Joe Dixon's home in Middle Georgia.
I definitely want to feel safe, but I can't say I feel 100% safe right now. I can't say I do.
2 years ago, Farmer Joe got a call from a state inspector coming by to check on the installation of his triple-wide mobile home.
Me and the inspector, we was walking around. He was pointing out this and pointing out that.
The state inspector reported plenty of problems, including safety anchor straps, and ordered the installers to make repairs.
Well, this is how we do it.
And that was the last Joe heard from the state inspector. What would you like the state to do?
Well, I'd like for the state to follow up. If you just tell somebody to do something, you don't know whether they did or not if you don't come back and check.
But instead of more inspections, Georgia actually checked less. From 63 in 2015 to last year, only 18. That's not even 2 per month.
We are not required to inspect every home as it's being installed. It only requires a random inspection.
Chris Stevens heads Georgia's mobile home inspections. His focus includes factories that make mobile homes, but leaves much of the installation inspection to local building inspectors.
We have some very good counties and cities that perform those inspections for us. They're kind of like our right arm.
And it's working, at least here in Douglas County. You get a new mobile home like these at a mobile home park near Douglasville. Until this inspection sticker is earned, no electricity allowed.
The building department has building inspectors, and they go check every single one of them.
But this does not happen everywhere in Georgia.
We still have a lot of rural areas that have no inspection agencies at all, that there are no building inspectors.
He's right. Dozens of Georgia counties have no building code and no building code inspectors. And with fewer than 2 random inspections a month by the state, fewer mistakes are going to be caught. That leaves a safety gap, putting lives at risk.
I put a little blame on myself.
Joe Dixon is disillusioned by the state's lack of follow-through.
They've got to come and make these people accountable.
He warns others to look out for their own safety.
Make sure everybody's doing what they're doing, not taking shortcuts, playing with your life.
I truly love what I do, and I am very passionate about it.
Dr. Ann Cope is a civil engineer who creates her own tornadoes with plenty of room to do it.
I don't want to see a neighborhood that's reduced to a pile of sticks. I want to see homes that are still there and people moving right back in after a weather event.
It is personal for her.
Including my own parents.
Her mom and dad lived in a mobile home in Florida. Her experiments helped to keep them and others safe. 105 turbines blowing 140 miles an hour, creating every kind of wild turbulence that a mobile home could endure.
And it comes out and down and into the facility.
She tests every possible thing that can go wrong in bad weather. Everything from foundation forces to shingle strength.
The only time that we're not testing is when we're constructing so that we can test.
And the experiments are more than just spectacular pictures. They teach engineers how to build safer homes.
It has to sit on the right thing, and it has to be anchored down into the ground. Both of those pieces are critical to the performance of that thing when Mother Nature comes and brings her strong winds.
It's not just wind. She tests for all the elements, for fire, for rain, even hail, all attacking mobile homes. The test facility is built and run by dozens of insurance companies, pooling their research dollars, trying to build safer homes to save insurance claims. One test explored the safety differences between types of mobile homes.
There are 3 zones, zone 1, 2, and 3, and zone 3 is the strongest one you can buy.
Federal law only requires the weakest zone, Zone 1, for most of Georgia. Every dealer also sells stronger, better-built Zones 2 and 3. The cost difference is at most about $5,000. Consider that peace of mind money, as these tests show.
The Zone 1 home, when we hit it with the strong winds, windows and doors popped open, and then the entire roof came off. When we had the Zone 3 home in here, open a window, open a door, that home was rocking and rolling because it's a strong wind event. It sustained damage, but it didn't collapse. It was still there.
A strong building's important, she says. Installation is critical, and finally confirming the knowledge you need to stay alive.
Ask detailed questions when you go to purchase this. This is your home. Ask the questions.